What do you mean? Which one's which?
That's a can. That's a can.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have nice cans. No one ever
these are
says that.
cans?
There's cans. I don't know how cans got over the spectrum so much. How it means so many
Isn't there a
different
place
things.
in Australia called Cairns?
There's a place called Cairns up in the tropics. We went there once.
Yeah.
Who says cans for tits anymore?
Yeah, she got a nice set of cans.
Yeah, she had a nice set of cans.
What are you fucking? I got nice cans.
Yeah, she got
Fuck
great
you,
cans. You got
Forrest.
great cans,
Thanks,
Kelly.
Jim.
I'll take Kelly's word for it.
Yeah, give them what they want.
Wow, you haven't said that in a while.
Yeah,
we're trying to bring that back.
I'm trying to act young at the moment because I had an incident on this morning. So I've got a baby, right? We all have documented that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been sleeping very well. And so normally I don't look at the internet or whatever. Jack did a video of me. I had to do a video to sell tickets for my New York show, which is the Thursday coming up. Friday's already sold out. Thursday, there's more tickets.
No, I think your show's passed already, isn't it?
No.
Oh, has
No,
it? Okay,
that's this
It's
Thursday.
coming up. Sorry.
Yeah, this Thursday, there's still tickets. Friday sold out. Chicago Theatre may be sold out by now. It's very, very close. And Indianapolis, you
On
get
the
plenty
26th.
of tickets. Just come. Just show up at the door at Indianapolis. Anyway, I'm not going to
2 for 1.
I'm not going to bullshit you. There's 700 fucking tickets left. Anyway, so I woke up, and so when we did the video, it was in my backyard, and I got a lot of grey in my hair these days, but the sun made it look extra special. You can see
Your hair,
it.
yeah, your hair is really not that
My
great,
hair-
but the
my hair-
video,
the video,
yeah.
I look very, very grey, right? And so I woke up and I went, I wonder how this new video's doing. I never checked the internet. I was sitting there having a shit. I hadn't slept all fucking night. And then it was just people going, how old are you? You look like you're fucking... I just got in such a mood. For the first time in years, I started responding to people, well, you're a fat fuck. Why don't you fuck off? You're nothing to fucking look at. And it's always young people that get into you about, oh, you've aged. I'm 44 fucking years old. I don't look like I did. People like, one guy said, you look way older than you did in Alcoholocaust when you were drinking. What, from my special 13 years ago? Yes, I have aged in 13 years, you
That's
fuck.
exactly how time works.
And this is the thing to you young people. Go fuck yourself. Age is coming your way. I'm not angry. Anyway, and also I'll say this about grey hair. I commend any hair that stays on my fucking head. You will never hear me say a bad word about a hair that's decided will stay on my fucking head. They're the winners. They're the champions of my head. Don't speak ill of them. So what do you got for us, Jack?
We're doing the old segment of trying to tell old-timey jokes. So I find these old jokes from specifically this book, The Encyclopedia of Comedy by James Melville Jansen. It was written in 1895.
Why are you holding that up to the camera? You trying to get him some sales?
I have a book.
I have some ad reads here. I thought, geez, Jack's giving me a lot of
a lot of jokes.
fucking hell. Geez, they made a lot of jokes about Green Chef back in the day.
So we have 4 jokes each, and we're going to see if we can sell these jokes from 1895. Now, all these jokes I pulled from a section of the book called Witty Sayings. So we'll see how witty these are.
Love witty jokes.
Jim, you can begin.
I was so angry this morning that I blocked like 50 people. I blocked one guy. One guy goes, oh, you've become 75 years old. And I said, well, you've become a complete cunt. Like this. And he goes, oh, Jim Jefferies just called me a cunt. Made my fucking day. You're my favorite comedian. Blocked. Right? And then, that's not a bad mood I was in. And then I looked at everyone who liked his comment. I blocked all those cunts as well.
Are you going to leave him blocked?
Yeah, fuck him.
I love the pettiness.
The cunt lived in Argentina. He's not buying a ticket.
Okay, I was going to
Not
say.
buying a ticket. Why? So Netflix gets less subscription. He's not cancelling because of me. They've still got many other quality products. If he wants to watch the Queen's Gambit, he has to fucking keep his subscription. Anyway, here's a joke. Jones. Why is he called Jones? Is that his second name?
know.
or
I
his
have a
first
Jones
name?
here, too.
I don't know. There's a couple I don't know who Jones is. I
I
don't know why
think
this is just a guy.
Jones was a local idiot back in the day. That's why he's jonesing. I don't know.
Could be.
Jones has a goat that is such a good butter.
I think a head butter.
Oh, butter. I thought he was like a dairy product.
Yeah, it took me a while to put together. He might be
Okay,
a head
Jones
butter.
has a goat that is such a good butter that he is named Olay Margarine. Oh, it is a butter.
Margarine, yeah.
Olay Margarine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had margarine back
Is
then?
that the punchline of that joke? Or is this
that's
one
all
joke?
joke.
Because it
Yeah.
goes straight into an Irishman
Yeah.
had a fight with a Jew. Now, we'll come back to that joke.
We'll come back to that.
You can all think about what the Irishman and the Jew were fighting about. It was probably something to do with someone being stupid, no doubt.
for?
Okay. I got a man a job chewing icicles off the roof of the city hall.
This is good.
He lent his teeth to a man who played dominoes and couldn't get them back again, so he is now gumming stamps in the post office.
What the fuck
That's
story
that's
was that?
classic.
That's just like a sad tale.
I
This
could,
guy had
I
to
could
get a
rewrite
job.
that joke and make it real good.
Oh, you could. All right. He was chewing icicles. Why would he even be doing that off the roof?
But
That's
the
his job.
funny bit is that he's doing it at City Hall.
That is hilarious.
It's ironic.
Why?
Because they could
Yeah,
afford
because
to hire somebody else to
No,
chew
but
the
also
icicles.
it's a government job. Why would you give someone such a silly government job?
Well, hold on. But wait. But then he lends.
Is that what my taxes are going towards?
No.
Icicle
Icicles
chewing.
on the city hall.
Hold on. He lends his teeth now to a man to play dominoes. Why?
I don't.
Why do you need him to play dominoes?
No.
And then couldn't get them back.
So chewing the icicles made his teeth fall out, and then he lent them to
No.
play.
He was hired to chew off the icicles with his
Right.
teeth, but
Okay.
oh crap! I'm hired for this gig, but I have no teeth now because I lent them to my friend to play dominoes.
Why don't you
with.
just lend your
But how do you
teeth to
chew
somebody?
the icicles off without his teeth?
I don't know.
What's the dominoes going on?
I don't know.
He's playing dominoes, but the thing is now he's doing post. He works for the post office. He's
Another
still,
government job.
Yeah, but the government did him right, man.
Yeah.
Like he could have. This is before unions. He'd lost his icicle
That's-
chewing job, and they still gave him another position
good
at
point.
the post office. So
Yeah, it's
So
pretty.
I-
It's pretty
so
funny. now that I
government
think about
good?
it. It's
I
pretty
think
funny.
this is a
Government equal
joke.
good.
I think this
That's
is
a
a
good
joke
joke.
about the government doing the right thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
And-
It's a good joke.
And that's why it's so hilarious.
I take it back. It's a good joke. Good joke. All right. What other hilarious things?
Okay,
do-
a friend of mine was arrested for cruelty to animals.
Oh no.
He was working in a grocery store bottling catsup.
All right. Yeah.
That's witty. That's a witty saying.
That's a good
That's
one.
a good one.
That's witty. Yeah.
All right. They gave him a job to
We
lay.
have to read all these?
Yeah.
Oh.
They gave him a job to lay over a hole in the roof to keep the rain out. He went to sleep with
What do
his
you mean
mouth.
they? Why do these start in the middle of a story?
This is like when we make Jack read erotica,
Okay.
and I just start with no background.
So this guy who had to cover the hole, he went to sleep with his mouth open and nearly got drowned. Crazy.
Wait,
I hear that's how Bon Scott died.
Yeah.
can I read it?
Yeah, they gave him a job to lay over a hole in the roof to keep the rain out. So
Yeah.
he fell asleep when it was raining with his mouth open and almost drowned.
Yeah, because he's a moron. He doesn't realize when his mouth's filled with water while he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Probably an Irishman.
What year are these from again?
1895? Or at least that's when the book was published. Who
Life
knows how
was
long it took to
terrible back then.
compile
Yeah.
it?
This is like in the Civil War. Like, I got a good joke.
1985 had similar jokes, just a lot more grungy.
All right, Jim.
Jim?
Okay. An Irishman had a fight with a Jew. The Jew got the best of it. No, there's more to it. But you would think that the Jewish guy would lose the fight to the Irishman. Okay, I don't know. Okay. The Jew got the best of it. In about 3 weeks afterwards, the Jew died. Oh, that's no good. And then the Irishman, to get even with him, went to the cemetery and beat the Jew's grave with a ham.
What the fuck?
Because Jews,
With a ham.
because Jews don't eat pork.
I
can't
get
eat
that
it.
part of it, but
First of all, if you did that today, that'd be
that's a hate crime
Yeah.
to the dead.
If you went and beat someone's grave with a ham,
Yeah.
I always use.
Typical
I
Irishman.
have a person who I dislike very much that I do say that when they die, I will not dance on their grave because it's too hard to dance while you're shitting.
And beating it with a ham.
we were going so fast we smashed into another team and it took a wheel off the dog's tail.
Yeah.
Ned. There's another guy, Ned. In this
Ned's a
scenario.
Yeah,
white,
my
Ned's,
slur as
Ned's
well,
a white
for what
guy
I
all
know.
day.
Nonsense. Whoever heard of a wheel on a dog's tail? Wagons have wheels. Old David said, well, this dog's tail was a wagon.
Okay, so Ned is a derogatory term. I think it's Irish. It might be Scottish. I think it's Scottish.
Wow.
Ned's a derogatory term for white trash who
Is it?
live in council estates and stuff like that. Fucking Neds, they say. Yeah,
Wow.
This says a young person who behaves in a rude and sometimes violent or criminal way.
Wow.
yeah. It's yeah. Neds. It's,
Wow.
it's like scallies.
Criminals,
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Jack.
You're welcome.
All right.
We learned something today.
Yeah, did we?
Kelly?
When history tells us Adam was in the garden, it does not tell us what kind of garden it was, but we have every reason to believe it was a beer garden because Adam saw snakes.
Yeah, he was drunk, you see.
Cool story.
Wow.
They're going to change the name of Central Park to Central Orchard. You know why? Because there are so many pears under the trees.
I guess people make out under the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to read all these, right?
I know. I got a good one.
Okay.
Pat. That's his name. Not like the ones that you gave Forrest. Thank you, Jeff.
Good thing I can't be canceled.
Yeah.
This
I
is like
probably can. I don't
long-term
know.
revenge on Forrest.
Yeah.
This is such
Oh,
a
hang
slow
on,
play.
I haven't finished it. Pat the Japanese. I can't even say the next one. No.
Marita? He's dead.
Pat Marita.
From the Karate Kid. Jesus.
Pat, how much will it you take for the broad-faced turkey on the fence?
Broad-faced.
Broad-faced. Oh, that makes it all different.
Yeah.
Broad-faced turkey on the fence. Farmer, that's not a turkey. That's an owl. Pat, sure. I didn't care how owled he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, old,
Yeah.
but it's owl.
No, don't worry. I'm just
My
letting
wife's
it
hair
sink
is
in.
so red that when she goes out in the yard at night, the roosters take it for sunrise and begin to crow. Next joke.
We've only just got one more each.
Mr. A, I went into a saloon and ordered a Manhattan cocktail. Mr. B, did you get it?
Let's keep it rolling.
Mr. A, no, the Manhattan any.
All right, keep it going. Keep it going.
Jimmy,
Speed round.
say, Wallace, why don't you settle down and take a wife? Wallace, I would, but I don't know whose wife to take.
Oh, that's not a bad old gag. All right,
You
here
sound
we
like
go.
QAnon drops.
Last
All
joke.
these.
Last
All
joke.
right, you
Last
ready?
joke.
Ready? Jones. He's
Jones,
back
I got a
again.
Jones.
He's back
I got a
again.
Jones one too.
Yeah. Jones had a dream the other night. He dreamt he owed a man $10.
Wait, I have this joke too. Okay, keep going.
It's different interpretation.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
owed a man $10. He woke up to find it was true. He's afraid to go to sleep again for fear he might pay him.
Yeah,
What?
I have that same joke here.
All right, let's see how you read it.
Yeah, because I didn't understand it. the first time.
Jones
Oh.
had a dream.
Do it as Jerry Seinfeld.
The other night, I can't do impressions.
Jones had a
He
dream. What did he have a dream?
$10. He woke up and found it was true. He's afraid.
All right, do it. Okay, just as a little homage to the great Norm Macdonald. Do it as Norm Macdonald. Come on.
I just threw it on the ground.
Hey, Jones had a dream the other night. He dreamed he was.
It's a terrible
He was
impression.
Is that
That's Norm Macdonald. That was me.
no, that was
It's Cliff Clavin. I can only do one impersonation. Hey, how you doing?
all right. I'll do my last one as Forrest. When I was down at Long Branch last summer, I took a piece of soap along with me. So if the undertow was too strong, I could wash myself ashore.
That was so
I don't
Forrest.
know. I
That
don't
was
know.
really good.
It's hilarious.
Speed it up. Yeah.
I hate fun.
Is this fun?
This is really fun.
This is
Oh,
really
okay.
fun.
My bad,
Last
my
one.
bad.
Here we go.
You haven't been with a baby all night and woken up to be told you're old. This is the best part of me day.
I went into the country this summer for a change and rest, but I didn't get it. The waiters got all the change and the landlord got the rest.
Hey-o.
Heyo.
Tax the rich, baby.
James Melville Jensen.
Let's read the adverts.
Ads. Time for ads.
I tell you what, you might not think I'm good at these ad reads, but I'll tell you who you believe this in. I'll tell you who's bad at ad reads. The entire LA Dodgers. They do a thing. They do a thing about recycling on the radio like this. They're like, "Hey, this is Justin Turner. My biggest hits aren't on the park. My biggest hits is throwing my recycling in the bin. We all have to contribute to recycling." And Walker Bueller does one where he's reading the words like they're independent in the fucking sentences. Hey, LA, my best throw pitchers aren't on the field. They're throwing trash in the bin. Ah, come on. And then they used to do another one where I think Adrian Gonzalez used to talk about dumping furniture on the curb and not to do it. Anyway, they're helping out the Dodgers. One little bit of garbage at a time. Better help. Look, I'm in therapy. You might not know that about me. You might look at me and you think to yourself, that guy doesn't need therapy. He's so well put together. Well, everyone gets old. It's just a bit of fucking grey hair. Anyway, everyone can benefit from therapy. Talking to your friends and family is overrated. Get a therapist and
Fuck
get
your
better.
family.
Yeah, well, you can say things to therapists that you know
Yeah,
what,
you don't
there's
want to rely
things-
on people. You don't want to
there's
burden
things
people.
I can't say
Yeah.
to Forrest that I can say to a therapist.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
I long for Forrest. BetterHelp will assess your needs. I was going to say want to kill, but then I thought I'll make it sexual. It's all gone, squiff.
Forrest has
Whip.
great cans.
Oh, yeah, great cans.
Great
Great
cans.
cans. Dun, 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 dun. That was the
By
can.
accident.
BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not a self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. There is a broad range of expertise available, which may not otherwise be locally available in many areas. The service is available for clients worldwide. That's the whole fucking world. So you people on the space station can go suck a dick. You can log into your account. Actually, they could probably use it.
Yeah.
They've got the Wi-Fi up there. Space station
Yeah.
people, I know you feel alone. Get BetterHelp. You can log into your account. They're probably mentally strong. They are astronauts.
Yeah.
Anyway, anyone can use this. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You'll get a timely and thoughtful response. Plus, you can schedule weekly videos or photo sessions so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches so they make it easy to and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Check out the thousands of reviews online if you need to take someone else's word for it, but you can just take mine. Visit Better.
Did you read that right?
I put different, I'm like Christopher Walken. I put different emphasis on different
That's
words.
the impression
what
he was
makes
doing
me
earlier.
Oh,
Christopher
yeah,
Walken.
Yeah, it's Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Visit betterhelp.com/IDK. Ooh, that's better, H-E-L-P. That was Homer Simpson. And join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp, they are recruiting an additional counselors, more than one additional counselor in all 50 states. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and the I Don't Know About That listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/IDK. Big fan of therapy. Go do that. Look, when I'm at home, I like to feel comfortable, and nothing makes you feel more comfortable or at home than good furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Good furniture says a lot about who you are and what you're like. You know, you go in someone's house, they have shitty furniture, probably a shitty person.
I don't know about that. Maybe they just can't afford good.
Joybird's selection of
Nope, asshole.
customizable furniture and modern home decor lets you bring your own unique style into your space. Joybird offers modern, customized furniture for every space, available in a variety of vibrant, durable fabric options. You want to have durable, especially you got kids, things get poured on. You want something that's going to last. You don't want the shit from bloody these packaged flatbed bloody furniture stores with shit. You want your Joybird quality. And with summer winding down, Joybird has all the modern outdoor furniture and accessories you need to make the most of your patio hangs.
Ooh.
Now, my favorite room in my house is my bedroom. And then there's a room off there, the bathroom I like. I like
Do you
all
love
my
the bathroom?
rooms.
Yeah.
I like all my rooms except my office, because my office is filled with shit that I have to do that I haven't done.
That's what the litter box is.
Yeah, that's where the cat shit. that room can go to hell.
I can't even imagine you in an office.
It's
I
not.
don't even use a computer.
I
Anyway.
used to work on a TV show where I had my own office.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I used to just sit behind the desk and masturbate every now and again.
Yeah. You weren't like sitting at a desk doing anything. It was like lying on a couch.
nobody was in there.
I think I said it.
No,
Your
I
desk
was in
more than
there.
you
No,
did.
I was in there. No. I didn't do that. That was just me being
So
funny.
Joybird, yeah.
Joybird, choose from over 18,000 customized options. 18,000, that's a lot of bits of furniture. Or browse curated collections to find the perfect piece for your one-of-a-kind style. From design to ongoing care, Joybird has you covered. Unsure where to start? Yeah, I'm unsure where to start, just in many things. Lucky Joybird's here to help me out with furniture. Joybird's design specialists are standing by to make your vision a reality for free.
I actually think this part's really cool.
It
Like,
is
so
cool.
you go on there and it tell somebody what your style is, and they help you because not everybody's an interior designer.
I had an interior designer work for me. It was the best thing I ever did in my life, because I used to buy nice bits of furniture, but they never matched up with other
Right,
bits. I had all
yeah.
these individual pieces that never really set up with the other bits. And you can go to the designer and go, I don't know what I like, but I want it to feel like
I want it to match.
I want it to feel like Ron Burgundy lives there.
Ooh,
Right?
yeah.
And then they know what
Wait,
that
is that what you
means.
told him?
Leather-bound books.
No, I didn't tell him that. I didn't say that. I I said, match the house to match my style. There was a lot of hate things on the wall. We had to paint over. From this,
I hate vegetables.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, it was just like fuck you to my wife. There was one argument. I did it in a big brush. With Joybird's protection plan, your upholstery and leather pieces will always look as good and as new without having to treat them like they're a museum. And with financing rates as low as 0% APR for up to 36 months, you can now relax and pay later. Joybird is committed to creating quality furniture and more sustainable furniture. Each piece is made with incredible care using responsibly sourced materials free of harmful chemicals. Though partnerships with groups like One Tree Planted, that was a good business until they got rid of their one bit of product. They've got other trees. Joybird is helping conserve and restore the Earth's most precious natural resources, like sand, the handshake that the Earth makes with the sea.
Mm-hmm. That's the one.
Quality craftsmanship, stain and scratch-resistant fabrics, and limited lifetime warranty, Joybird furniture can handle anything your family throws at it. Literally. 90-day returns. 90-day returns.
That's good too.
That's 3 months, depending on the months you have. It could be less than 3 months if February's included in that month. More if you got one of those ones. You know that rhyme, 30 days has September. No one knows which days have what.
But if you're ordering furniture online, you want to be able to test it out because you can never tell if it's comfortable. So that's good.
Yeah. And also,
Right
look,
on.
I'm not telling you how to live your life, but if you've only got 90 days left before you die and the doctor's told you that,
free couch.
get yourself some free Joybird. Send it back. I didn't like it on the last day. Enjoy those last 90 days.
Imagine your last day on Earth just doing furniture returns.
That's why
Gotta get this
That's
done.
why you have a Jack.
Yeah.
When you're on your deathbed, you Jack, lean in there, get rid of the couch. Okay, I want that money back. Gonna buy some more morphine. All right, Joybird stands by its quality and craftsmanship. It's not if it's not everything you hope for, send it back. You need to be everything you hope for. Create a space that brings you joy with Joybird. Visit joybird.com/IDKAT and get 3% off. They've written 30% here, but very clearly that would be a typo.
Yeah.
There's no way they would offer what? 30% off your purchase? Normally these bloody companies give 10% and 20%, not Joybird. That's 30% off at joybird.com/IDKAT.
All right. Please welcome our guest today, Myron Mixon.
Now it's time to play.
Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no. Judging a book by its cover.
Are you here to talk about barbecue?
How'd you guess that?
Yeah.
Well, our friend Dave Williamson's here sitting with some of the best looking barbecue I've ever seen. I don't eat pork anymore, but I'm going to have a go at that brisket and that stuff that looks like pork. It's sheep, right? I can eat that.
Yeah, sure. Yes. Myron Mixon is our guest today. He is a 5-time world barbecue champion with over 200 grand championships, 30 state championships, 8 Team of the Year awards, and 11 national championships.
Oh, yeah.
Myron Mixon is the winningest man in barbecue. He has TV shows called Barbecue Pitmasters, Barbecue Rules, Smoked, and Barbecue Pit Wars, all on Discovery's Destination America and the Cooking Channel. And he has a New York Times bestselling author. Oh, he is a New York Times bestselling author of Smokin' with Myron Mixon. And he has a restaurant, Myron Mixon's Pitmaster Barbecue Restaurants. There's one in Alexandria, Virginia, and one that will be opening in Hoboken, New Jersey, I think now. And
He's also the mayor.
He's the
I was about
freaking
to say, he's also
mayor.
mayor of a town in Georgia. Unadilla, is that how you pronounce it?
Unadilla.
Unadilla.
Yeah, Forrest told me that right before we started recording, and I go, "What?"
Yeah.
That's one dilla.
Yeah.
Myron, thank you for being on the show. Can you just tell us, I mean, I said a lot about you, but just can you tell us how you became a pit master and got into barbecue and became a mayor?
Yeah, my dad used to have, when he was alive, had to take out barbecue business, had it for years. And when I was like 9 years old, he started me out helping him. I mean, this is where you burn the coals down, shovel it, a lot of labor intensive stuff here. And he didn't grab me up and put me out there to make me a world famous pit master. He grabbed me up because I was free labor.
Right.
Tote, fetch, go get. And but even a small kid working into a teenager, that wasn't really what you wanted to do. Well, I didn't want to do. But even under duress, you'll learn. And as I got older and learned and watched the way he handled meat and got, turned out great product, people loved it. As a kid, you love accolades. You love people patting you on the back when you do something good. And I learned. I mean, I learned it and I got good at it. And that led me into being in competitions and started competing in 1996. Matter of fact, in June, when he passed away in January, he never got to saw me compete. And I probably would have never got competed if he'd have been alive, because he looked at it like that was playing, that wasn't working. But anyway, we started in 1996, and that's where the venture started, the all adventure started, and winning, and very lucky, very blessed. Started winning out of the gate, winning all the time, I guess you could say. And when TV came along, looking for barbecue shows at that time, they did the research. They start searching for people to be on the shows that has experience in competing, and my name come up, and that really what pushed it over the top. And by being on TV and put my name and face out front, it led to having a sauce and rub company, which we still sell a lot of product online, and now we're wholesaling, even in companies like Ace Hardware all across the country, 6,000 plus stores. We got restaurants now. We write cookbooks. I've been teaching cook school since 2005. I see about 7,000 students a year. And we got our own smoker division now. We have a smoker plants in Waterford, Connecticut. So it led to a lot of things. And I can credit only my dad for teaching me, and for TV making me, I guess, out front in front of a lot of folks. And it just been blessed. It's been a fun ride.
Awesome. Well, I often get criticism on this podcast and in my stand-up. People think I bash on America too much. They say that if I want to live here, I shouldn't say something. And I feel it's mostly in jest. I was like, here I go. Australians can't do barbecue for shit in comparison to the Americans. The Americans, hands down, the Australian barbecues are really just throwing sausages on and flipping a steak and going, oh, no, this American, like you were talking about how you've been in so many competitions. I always find it weird when you go into a restaurant and they go, and we have award-winning meatloaf, the best pecan pie. And I'm like, where are these fucking competitions? But barbecuing is like a legitimate thing where I can see it's an actual competition. I've watched a lot of the TV shows and the people who are the great pit masters and stuff like that. How many competitions would you say you do a year?
Back in the day, from 96 till probably mid-2000 teens, I used to average like 45 contests a year.
Holy shit.
What?
But
That's
now,
insane.
I was going 45 easy. And I have done 50 in a year, and there was only 52 weeks in a year. But now with all the other businesses, we got one restaurant, the second one's opening the end of this month, 1st of October, smoker division, all the other stuff. I may get to do 4 or 5 a year now instead of 45.
Do you have like people in your industry where you're like, fucking this hack? Someone's like coming in with their shitty chicken. I don't know what they're fucking doing. Or there's one person who's like your nemesis. It's like, if I could do ribs like that fucker.
Well, let me tell you what, I have more of the first part of that, as you said, than I do the second part of that. When I judge on Barbecue Pitmasters, I cook them mainly on the east, southeast, and northeast. And I do go out Midwest a lot of times. But a lot of times I get to judge people that have a reputation in their certain area that I've never got to go to. And I look over to my fellow judges like, damn, we fixed to get eat some great stuff. I've seen him, in some of the barbecue papers and stuff like that. And you eat it and you're like, dang, it tastes like cat food and ass. And
Before we keep going, we have a friend of ours in studio, Dave Williamson, who is a very funny comedian and but also what would you say, a barbecue enthusiast?
Yeah, that's
because you're in front of Myron Mixon right now.
I'm very cautious not to call myself an expert.
Okay, but over the years, Myron, in the past, I don't know how many years, he's got really into barbecue and
obsessed.
And he's brought. Well, you can talk.
Do you want to hold up to the camera and say, have Myron say whether it's any good?
Yeah, let's do that before I slice it because it all looks good before. I don't care how many briskets you make. they can look great and you can think you did great, but you're always still scared that you're going to cut into it and it's going to be like that scene on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation where the turkey just like is all dried out.
Yeah.
So it's always
I feel the same way about having kids.
Little small brisket there, and I did some beef ribs.
Yeah,
and I did some pork ribs as well, and I didn't do very well with my sleep schedule last night, and my timer didn't wake me up, so I had to get a little creative and go hot and fast this morning to get them done in time. But I still am confident we ended up all right.
Are you nervous right now, Dave, in front of Myron Mixon?
I'm always nervous, dude. It doesn't matter how many times.
We're going to eat this probably and be like, this is great.
It's like when you have a bad set and people are like, hey, man, you were awesome. But you know in your mind, like, nah, I messed something up.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, no, it was great. Like, no, it wasn't, you know?
I've learned over time with comedy just to let them have the experience that they had.
Yeah.
Like you always go, no, last night was good. This was shit tonight.
Yeah.
You go, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And then you walk away.
Well, Myron just won the grand championship at Memphis in May. I was there. It was my first time ever going to a big competition like that. And it seems like you love it just as much now as you did back in the day because you were pumped when your name was called.
Was there big crowds, Dave, there? Did you find it hard to walk around with your erection?
I was very excited. That is not a lie. I was the first comedian to perform at the Memphis in May. They said they've had strippers and DJs and everything else you can think of, but never a comedian.
The most salacious career.
Do you remember, like, okay, when I was a kid, we used to go to like things. There was a prawn festival I used to go to, and they used to have the wet T-shirt competition just out in the public in the middle of the day. And it's the first time I saw titties was like they used to pour water over these women, and you'd stand there with your dad, like, oh, this is a bit of a learning thing for the boy.
A lot of boobs on men at the Memphis in May.
Did they ever do wet T-shirt, or was that an Australian thing? Do you ever have wet T-shirt?
Yeah, they have hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was an Australian thing. Okay.
All right, Myron. And by the way, if anything else that you want to find out about Myron Mixon or any of the stuff I said, it's at myronmixon.com. That's MYRONMIXON.com. And so, Myron, I'm going to ask Dave. I'm going to ask Jim a few questions.
Should Dave start
I'm
slicing?
going to start slicing while you guys are talking,
Dave's-
all right?
I'm gonna ask Jim some questions about barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end of these questions, we'll see how Jim did. You can grade him 0 through 10, 10 being accurate and 0 not being good at all.
Yeah.
And then Kelly's gonna grade him on confidence. I'm gonna grade him et cetera. We'll add all the scores together. 21 through 30 are a spare rib, Jim. 11 through 20, bruised rib. 0 through 10, a McRib. You don't want to be a McRib.
What?
Nothing. Okay. What is barbecue, Jim?
Yeah, that's a tricky question. I assume BBQ is short for something, probably the word barbecue.
Yeah, I was saying the word barbecue. No, I wasn't saying look at there's the brisket. Can you see that, Myron? Is that
Put that smile on Myron.
Okay.
Yeah, but take it up to the camera. Let's see.
Wait. We want you to see Dave's brisket on the camera here.
And be honest, don't suck up to him. He can deal with the criticism.
I tell you what, it's very juicy. I mean, how does it bite? That's the way you really got to judge. Everybody wants you to look.
Okay.
I see smoke ring. You got to bite it. If it's a smooth chew, a silky bite, that's what you want.
All right.
Yeah,
We're getting there.
We'll send you some.
We're getting there.
It looks good. It looks good. All right. So
Let's
ask me some questions.
Okay,
Barbecue.
I'm going to ask him all the questions at once, and we'll come back and answer them. We'll do it that. Okay, we'll just do it. That'll be easy. That way, Dave can cut the meat.
It's food that's cooked over a flame, whether it be coals or you can barbecue, with gas. My outdoor barbecue has gas, but I think traditional barbecue has to be an open flame or coals or from wood or what have you.
What is the barbecue capital of America?
See, there's a lot of arguments. Texas will say it's them. Kansas will say it's them. Memphis will say it's them. I'm going to go Kansas.
What is the difference between barbecue and grilling?
Fuck me. Barbecuing involves more smoking than grilling. Grilling is a direct flame onto a thing, where a barbecue is low and slow, where the meat is cooked over time. Where you grill a steak is just a flip, you get grill marks. Barbecuing is something that takes time.
All right, what is a pitmaster?
Pitmaster is the person who knows who runs the pit, who runs the temperature and checks it. I've watched the Pitmaster show. The people who do it, the best barbecue in the world. I've watched a lot of that. Yeah, I live with a vegan. It was hard to do. It was like sneaking porn. It was.
What is the difference between a spare rib and a baby back rib?
The spare rib is the bit that you don't eat at the end.
Okay.
No, spare rib's the big bit, and the baby back bit's the bit at the back of the ribs. The spare rib's the upper bit of the ribs. The the front of the ribs, and then the baby back of the little tiny the end bit because the rib tapers off.
And what animal are they from?
Pigs.
Okay. What is brisket? Where's that from?
Brisket is a Jewish thing, I believe that it is, but that's a beef animal, and it's a fatty bit of the thing, and it's a smoked meat.
Okay. Is there anything you can't barbecue?
Well, by law, there's plenty of things. Plastic,
Foods. I'm talking about foods.
people,
Foods.
foods. You can barbecue chicken. You can barbecue thing. You can barbecue. I believe
Cake.
you smoke fish. You smoke fish. I'm talking about meats. You smoke fish. I assume that's considered barbecuing. So I say you can do fish. I'm going to say you can basically barbecue vegetables. I'm going to say yes, you can barbecue any food.
All right. How do you smoke
Breakfast cereal.
Breakfast cereal. Okay. How do you smoke meat? Like, how do you do it?
Low and slow.
Where's the slow and slow you
That's
keep
what I
getting?
hear. I watch the shows, man.
Okay.
And also hickory is a big thing, and there's different types of wood, and you put that in, and the wood gives the flavor from the wood that smokes into it. I've never done it myself. I have people like Dave in my life.
Okay. Barbecue is different in different parts of the United States. Like for instance, how is barbecue different in Texas versus Tennessee?
I believe that Texas has a bit more of a spice to their sauce because of maybe the Mexican influence from being on the border.
Mhm.
I believe that like Kansas has like a sweeter type of barbecue sauce that they go for.
What about Tennessee and Kansas? North Carolina,
Tennessee have the hot chicken and stuff like that. I think Nashville has hot sauce as well. Carolina would be a sweet sauce. That sounds like a sugary type of thing. I'm probably wrong on all this.
Okay. Barbecue competitions. Is there like a difference? What's the difference between cooking for a bunch of people and for judges?
Judges are going to judge you.
Okay.
Right? They'll be like, this is not good. I like this. This was bad. This was good. And regular people will be like, thanks for the meat, man.
Okay. All right. Last question. In a barbecue competition, like, what do you win? And like, if it's money, how much money can you win? Like, what do you think the top prizes are and stuff?
Oh, it's delicious. Got a good bite to it, man.
You're not supposed to be eating yet. You got to answer the last question.
I'll tell you what that is. I'll be a judge of that.
It is very good.
That was good.
All right.
Very good.
What do you win in a barbecue competition?
You would win something like, there would be a trophy that looked like a hot poker. There might be one that looks like a spatula of some kind.
Yeah.
Maybe an apron with tits on it.
All right. Myron Mixon. How do you think Jim did answering those questions on barbecues? 10's the best, 0's the worst. Be honest.
I'm looking at my notes here. I just went down like question 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got him down 4 of them is about the worst.
Yeah, all right,
okay.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
So that's not
Australians.
bad. I mean, 4 out of 11. I mean, he's not. I mean, you know,
Do you
that's
have
pretty good.
Do you have Australians compete? They must be dog shit, right? Like not like the level of the New Zealand barbecue masters, but like do you ever have like is it popular in Australia? Because I feel like night and day American barbecue is better than Australian barbecue. Is that the case, or am I just being
yes.
a
Let me tell
self-hating
you
Australian?
this. Let me tell you this. Like I told you, I've been doing classes since 2005, and I do about 7,000 students. Has come through my class since that period of time. I mean, we wind up. I do 10 classes a year. We get 700 a year. It goes through there. But anyway, majority of my students when I first started was people in America wanting to learn how to compete. Nowadays, because of the barbecue shows, I have people from all over the world, especially pre-pandemic, that were coming here. And I was averaging probably 5 to 10 people from Australia and New Zealand at every one of my classes, like from 17 to 19. And the reason for that, I've had people from Israel, I've had them from Indonesia, I've had them from Japan, China.
You never had any British people, would you? They'd be like, so how long do you boil the meat?
The point I'm making here is every society has its own type of barbecue. Just generations back, just like us, for hundreds of years. But with that being said, all of these countries want to do Americanized barbecue.
Yeah.
They look at us as the epitome. They look at us as the ones that, if they didn't start it, we perfected it. So they want to do what we do.
Mhm.
That's why they come to the classes. We got a representative in Australia that sells all of my products. They buy the cargo loads of my smokers, rubs, sauces. They're on Facebook all the time over there. And we sell a lot of products in Australia. And I can tell you this, I went and visited about 3 years ago and did some events over there, and they got competitions now. And they're legit. You got some people who are doing the legit thing over there.
You have
Alright.
to visit.
Okay.
Visit some of those.
How do you-
I'll stop hating on Australia.
How did Jim do on confidence, Kelly?
I'd give him a 7.
7 and a 4. I'll give you a 1 and a set or your bruised rib. Jim doesn't care anymore. There's food going in front of his face now.
Thank you, Dave. Winning season has started off hot but my bookie's continuing to crank up the heat with a $50,000 Survivor contest. Whether you're a new or existing customer, if you've made a deposit with my bookie, you will earn an entry into the $50,000 Survivor contest absolutely free. Why wouldn't you enter that? It's free and you could win $50,000 to play. All you have to do is pick one winner a week to keep your streak alive and have a shot at the grand prize. Ooh. Start off strong with a Ravens pick against the Lions, who haven't beaten Baltimore since Lamar Jackson was in the 2nd grade, or ride a hungry Steelers squad looking to get back into their historical dominance over the Bengals. I don't follow the NFL. I've just read these things out loud. The Bengals, they're the Tigers? Where are they from?
Well, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Singing
Cincinnati.
outside, zippity-doo-zie-oh.
Either way, it's simple to play and win, even if you don't have a ton of experience, which is why I always choose my bookie for NFL contests. I use my bookie for the baseball, and I do bet on the Super Bowl with my bookie. My bookie's my site. Head to mybookie.ag now and get in the competition and use my promo code IDK to receive double your first deposit and get instant access to the 50K Survivor pool. Again, that's promo code IDK to instantly double your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with my bookie.
All right, Myron, what exactly is barbecue? Jim said it's food that's cooked over a flame, whether it be coal, gas, open flame. Is that a good description?
He's pretty correct on that. The thing about it is barbecue is the main, I call the main title. And up under that, you got subtitles, and you have smoking, where you're actually cooking lower temps. I like to cook hot and fast. I'm smoking. I'm up there around 300 degrees. I'm not doing the 225 stuff. But you're actually smoking and putting smoking and pairing smoking. You're not really cooking this for a longer period of time. Grilling is the other subtitle of barbecuing. And that's where you're doing hot and fast. Like searing steaks, you're running the temps on those coals, direct heat, 500 to 800 degrees. So that's the difference. But both of them are barbecue. And it's just, a lot of times you see people, grilling is not barbecue. Well, yes, it is. It's just like smoking. It's just a different subtitle of barbecue. So he was correct.
Okay. Does it bother you that we're eating right now while we're doing this? Hope not.
Well, the thing about it is I'm around barbecue every day, been around barbecue all my life. And the only barbecue I eat is at my restaurant when I'm going in and sampling, making everything's up to par.
Yeah.
My favorite food is fried chicken.
Have you mastered that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I do great fried chicken, but I can tell you this. Of the barbecue that I like now, because I was raised eating pork. When you're from the South and I'm from Georgia, when you talked about barbecue, and still to this day, you talk about pork. Mm-hmm. And just like in Texas, they're talking about beef.
Yeah.
Those beef ribs you got there, that's my new fave. I teach them in class. And I love a great beef rib.
These
and
are
it looks
fantastic.
like you did. They look awesome. Really and truly, I'm not saying that to kiss your ass, but they look good.
Myron, talk a little bit about the difference between cooking just like this for your friends versus cooking for a judge who's going to take one bite.
Yeah, that was one of the questions at the end there. Jim said if you're cooking for judges, they're going to judge you, and then regular people are going to be like, "Thanks for the meat, man."
Well, he's right, but you need a little bit more in there. You got to always remember when you're doing stuff at home for your friends and friends and your family, or you're cooking for the church. As long as it's free, you can give them a dog turd on a bun, and they're gonna say it's wonderful. Really, they're gonna say that. But the thing I tell people when I'm teaching classes is the recipe that I do for my friends and family is the same recipe that I do for my restaurants, for my paying customers, and for my judges. you got to have a great recipe to do all of those. It just depends on who you're feeding. So, yeah, I do the same thing, whether I'm feeding it and getting paid for it, if I'm doing it for a judge, if I'm doing it for friends and family.
Do you eat barbecue on the regular yourself?
If I do, it's going to be something like what y'all doing there now, beef ribs. I like to do, I do a lot of turkeys. I love barbecue turkey. I love it. And we do a lot of steaks. I stay away from doing long cooked stuff, pork butts, whole hogs, because I do that all the time. For competitions, for whatever I'm doing. And, I'm just not I love the beef right now.
Are you a sushi guy?
Hell no.
That was the best answer possible.
You and my dad would get along.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what your stance on salads are, but I think I know.
Oh, no, lovely coleslaw. This would be.
Ooh, coleslaw.
This is
I love
Dave,
coleslaw.
this
Coleslaw's
is
great.
without a doubt the best barbecue I've ever had. Like it's the freshest.
The barbecue capital of America. Jim says everyone will say it's themselves. Is that...
Well, and he was right. And the thing about it is he was right on the money when he first said that. Is, you go to Texas, they're going to tell you that, Austin and Dallas and Houston, that's where it's at. If you get over in Kansas City, you're going to have, in the Missouri, you're going to have KC talking about how great theirs is. Now St. Louis is coming on with its own style of barbecue. They're going to say they got it. You get into Tennessee, and he was right about the hot stuff over there with the chicken especially, but it's still going to be leaning sweet because Memphis, Tennessee is sweet.
Oh.
And when you get to the Carolinas, this is where he was wrong. It's more about the vinegar base and the mustard based sauces.
Now, is there a reason that it's sweeter in Memphis and more spicy in other places? Is it something to do with the produce there, or is it just that there was a lot of diabetics at the time, or what happened?
I think what you have got, the same reason that everything is played. When you get to Kansas City, you're looking at a smoky, sweet, molasses type flavor. And Memphis being on that same path going to those places, and the end result is winding up the same way. I mean, it's the smoky, sweet, more like the sugar cane type syrup than it is the molasses type syrup, which comes from sorghum that you see out in KC.
Right.
So those two areas are probably the sweetest of any of them.
Me and Forrest, we once had a bit of a ropey time in Kansas at a barbecue place.
Oh yeah, what was the name? It was it's a
Gates.
It's a Gates.
Gates,
Barbecue.
it was all right.
We went to Gates Barbecue.
What's a ropey time mean?
We were out of our element. We were in a suburb we shouldn't have been in late at night in Kansas, and we were with
Cliff Clavin.
John
Ratzenberg.
John Ratzenberg, who played Cliff Clavin on Cheers. We were with him. And we walked into a bar where we were like, we don't belong here. And everyone was staring at us. They were like, do you boys want a taxi to get out? And we were like, yeah, maybe we do. And
Good barbecue.
And yeah, it was great barbecue, but I was after the show. It was like 2 a.m. And then John was like, yeah, I don't think we'll have a problem here if we just stand at the bar like that. And I'm like, I think we should leave, John. Everyone's staring at us. He goes, just give it time. Like that. And then someone yelled out, Norm. And he went, close enough.
Then they lined up. They were taking pictures. They sang the Cheers theme
We were
song.
all singing the Cheers theme songs. We were the hero of the bar, man.
Okay, so the difference between barbecue and grilling, we already talked about that. So a pit master. Jim says this is one who runs the pit. I feel like you're just kind of saying that.
It's the person who's in charge.
That but you can't just call can you call yourself a pit master, or does somebody have to make you a pit master?
Is there a Jedi council is what he's
Are
asking.
you knighted?
I mean, I'll say I'll go back to the analogy of comedy. Like you could do comedy for a while, but feel guilty calling yourself a comedian.
Lots of people don't, though.
Yeah.
Holy hell. You seen those people? I'll tell you how you can spot a shit comedian. Their profile picture is them doing comedy.
Or they call themselves comedian, so-and-so. Like they actually put comedian in the title of their name on Facebook. And you're like, you're probably not a real comedian.
Yeah.
But it felt the same to me. I felt uncomfortable calling myself a pit master until one day I didn't,
So you're not a pit master?
I consider myself a pit master.
You're a
I've
pit
invested
master.
enough money, time, and energy into this that now I feel comfortable doing that, yes. But I didn't at first, just like when I started comedy.
In my house, I make my family call me the king. Turns out I'm not an actual king.
Oh.
No, I don't do that. That's master.
So, in your opinion, what what makes somebody go from just being a barbecue enthusiast to being able to call themselves a pit master?
In my opinion, being a pit master is not only conquering and knowing recipes and knowing how to make the meat turn out perfect and doing the right injections, marinades, and all this type of stuff. So meat selection is part of it, being a great pit master. It's also fire management. I mean, fire management plays into effect where you don't want fluctuations in your meat temps. I mean, you don't want it going up and down, especially if you're a stick burner. Nowadays, we got the pellet cookers. We can set it, forget it. The gravity feed charcoals, we can set it, forget it. But, I look at somebody that's always constantly trying to expand their knowledge of the craft. And I think being a barbecue pit master is a craft. You're always learning. And not only expanding your knowledge, you might learn something you may never go and try. But the more stuff you learn about it, the better you'll be at it. That person in my book is always craving more knowledge about something, is in any genre or any type situation is the best. And in this case, being the best pit master or being the best person that's cooking barbecue is a pit master.
All right.
So,
Do you use thermometers?
I use meat thermometers, and I tell people all the time, I get a lot of times when the holidays come around, you always got like People Magazine, CNN has their Today Show, where they want you to get one shot pop that's going to, you can put out there for the masses. They can put on Facebook or whatever, that's going to give the silver bullet that's going to make everybody a great pit master. And my go-to is, and it's fact, it ain't glorious and it ain't glamorous, but always cook with your meat thermometer. Every protein that you cook has a perfect internal doneness that's out there in every book or any book you can find about internal doneness. Always cook to whatever that protein you're cooking to the perfect internal doneness. That way you'll not only not ever be undercooked or overcooked, but you'll turn out a piece of meat that's always perfect in moisture and perfect in bite.
Okay, well, so for a brisket, what's the perfect temperature? And now, Dave, you say it first, and then he may correct you. What's the perfect temperature, Dave?
Popular opinion is 203.
All right, Myron?
It's close, 205.
You've got a lot to learn, Dave.
I want to ask you, Dave, about your beef ribs. What do you cook your beef ribs to?
So my beef ribs, since today I was putting it in the hot box and bringing it down here, I pulled them at about 195 because I knew they would carry up over 200 degrees in the hot box for a few hours.
That's where you want to be. I always teach in my class, take your beef ribs to 210 degrees.
Oh, really? But beef ribs, I feel like, because there's so much fat and cartilage in the middle and everything, that more than like a brisket, a beef ribs, you can also just kind of put the probe in and see how it slides in, and whether it's anywhere in that 200 to 210, you could just tell by probing it.
Yeah, you can. And that was something else I was going to say about the meat thermometer. I use Thermopens. Is that what you use, the Thermopen, the instant read?
I use whatever someone has sent me free recently.
So
anyway, and you're very correct. When you're sliding in, I mean, let's just say 9 times out of 10, it is 205 or 210, like I like to do them, but you can feel it. And when it slides like butter, that's when you want to pull it.
Okay. So what was that lady I watched on the documentary? She just uses her hand. She doesn't.
Tootsie.
Tootsie doesn't use a thermometer, or is she a liar? Come on, tell me.
Do you know who Tootsie is? I don't know Tootsie.
Tootsie's this.
I know.
I saw an episode on Tootsie, and Tootsie just puts her old hand on something and goes, "That's fine." But I feel like I don't know if that's a good cooking method. But people rate her. You don't have to throw shade. You don't have to throw shade.
I ain't gonna throw shade, but let me tell you about my dad. Jack Mixon, my dad, my mentor, he didn't own a meat thermometer. He didn't have gauges on his pits because they were shovel pits. My dad, and I can do it too, but I'm not as good as my dad was. I don't think I am, and I'm not going to take a chance. But he could feel the meat. He could turn the bones, and when they turned loose, like cooking chicken has, he could take it and that leg bone twist. It was done, and it was done. But there again, you got to do more than just lay your hand on it. You can't just walk by and say, "Oh yeah, it looks," I don't agree with that.
It's like Reiki. It's like Reiki barbecue. You're just like,
what I just ate the beef, is that the same as a short rib, or is that a different kind of? Because it tasted very short ribby.
So it's this essentially. Correct me if I'm wrong, Myron. It's essentially the same thing, yes. But when you do it in barbecue, you have to buy it where they call it plated. So it's all still put together. And that's difficult. That's probably the hardest. Beef ribs are not difficult overall for the weekend warrior to try, but buying them correctly is the hardest part, where they're not all cut up just like a short rib.
Yeah,
that's right. And what do you want is basically a full rack of short ribs uncut. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And what people always make a mistake with beef ribs is they do not cook them long enough. You can cook a pork rib in 3 hours. Beef ribs, generally, if you're cooking them I like to cook a 275 with beef ribs, 4 to 6 hours, depending on how they finish out.
Here's one of my problems. I don't know what I want to eat until 30 minutes before I eat it, right? And I'm very passionate about what I eat. I couldn't plan this far ahead. Do you wake up and go, ribs today? Well, and then you start 4 hours early. Don't you have to go to work and stuff?
Yeah, but when it becomes like a passion and, barbecue becomes, it's a culture, so that becomes part of the enjoyment is the process of when I invite someone over to watch football on Saturday and I do more than just throwing hamburgers on the grill for them. And that's grilling, right?
Yeah.
Then when I do barbecue for them and they come over and they're hungry and I go, it's not ready yet, man. And I'm not pulling it until it's ready. Because if I pull it 5 degrees too early, it wasn't worth me staying up all night. And so they go, I'm really hungry. And then I pull it out and then they're ready to eat it. And I go, nah, I got to let it rest at least an hour. And then they're like, come on, man, I'm hungry. And I go, well, you shouldn't have smoked so much weed. And then I finally slice it and they eat it and they know that it was worth waiting for. And they know that I stayed up all night to give them that meal, which is more than just something that took me 5 minutes of grilling a thing. That's part of the enjoyment.
Are you offended when someone like me invites people over to their house for a barbecue and it's really just a case of beer and we're going to throw some pre-made and eat some Beyond Burgers? Is that upset? Like, no, but you know what I mean? Like when someone goes, because I've had barbecues, but I've never had barbecue at my house. Does that make sense?
Offended? No, but I also will want to know what I'm getting into.
He makes a good Wagyu cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's like when you go to those improv shows and they call it comedy.
Were you saying something, Myron?
No, but he's right about what he was talking about. I mean, it's a lifestyle. I mean, barbecue's a lifestyle. And what he was talking about, where your friends is always wanting you to pull it off, get it off and eat. What generally happens in the backyard on beef ribs is generally the man, because it's, that's generally who's doing the grilling, is getting out there. And after about a half a case of beer, he gets tired of waiting because he's not going to eat anyway. He's not going to kill his damn buzz. So the kids and the wife are sitting in there and he just snatches them off. They still, hard as a piece of cardboard. He throws them on the table and keeps drinking. That's how beef ribs get a bad rap. Because they don't,
my move now is if I have people coming over.
Long enough.
Yeah. If I have people coming over, I always have some tri-tip or some chicken wings on standby because I can get those done really fast. And then that holds people over.
Right.
And then when the brisket comes out, they're not going to be full. They're going to eat it.
That's right.
My dog is losing his mind right now. He's just like, my dog's just wandering the studio here, like looking up at the tables, like, what's going on? Somebody throw me some meat.
Is there? I like to wrap my barbecue in a tortilla or have it in a sandwich or something. Is there a correct way to eat it? Is there any sides where you go, fucking idiots? Like, you know what I mean? Because I always get the mac and cheese, and I get a coleslaw, or I get beans. And now I see all the color, the spinachy type things, and I know. So I get the mac and cheese, coleslaw, and beans. Is there a traditional sides that you're meant to eat it with, a special way you're meant to eat it? Is there anything that's sacrilege? Like, you know how there's people who are like, if you have ketchup on a hot dog, they lose their fucking shit, right? Is there anything that's sacrilege when eating barbecue?
Not really. I mean, I've never seen. Oh, I'll take that back. I saw somebody put damn mayonnaise on it.
People are using mayonnaise as binder now. Yeah,
I love mayonnaise.
But the thing about it is, I love a ham sandwich. Boiled ham or whatever you're gonna do for mayonnaise. But you don't. I mean, put barbecue sauce on it. Why in the hell would you want to put mayonnaise on it? I don't understand that.
Is ketchup a no-no?
I wouldn't put ketchup on it either. Nah.
I think probably the only answer to that is if you go to a restaurant and they serve you like brisket and it's got a ton of sauce on it, then they're hiding something, right? Now, a real barbecue joint would probably just have some sauce on the side and let you sauce it. I don't like the sauce at all, except for my pork ribs. I'll have a light dusting of sauce about an hour before it's done and let it cook into it. Or a pork sandwich, a pulled pork sandwich, I'll put sauce on.
I love
like
a bit
that.
of pulled
and leftovers.
Am I allowed?
That's when I hit the barbecue sauce, is when it's leftovers.
I like to add cheese to everything. Is that okay?
Let me tell you what we're doing right now. We started it. We came up with it and started it this week at my restaurant in Alexandria, and we'll be doing it in the one in Hoboken too. We're doing our brisket mac and cheese sandwich.
Ooh.
And let me tell you about that. Now, that's off the damn chain.
I saw it on Instagram. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yes, I mean, it's off the chain. And what we do, we take some of our hickory barbecue sauce, some of the au jus out of the brisket. We slice brisket, but we'll take the slices, we'll chop it, put a big scoop of our mac and cheese on there, put the brisket on top, put a little bit of hickory sauce. We take our toasted buns with butter, we toast them on the flat top, boom, with a dill pickle. That is awesome.
I don't eat pickles, but I'm on board for everything else. Is there? What's the dessert of barbecue? Where you go, I'll have a brownie and ice cream. What is the dessert that's like renowned?
That wraps up the meal.
That wraps up the meal, or should you not have dessert?
Banana pudding.
Yep.
Jim hates bananas.
I hate bananas with a fucking passion.
They do bread pudding too, but banana.
I
pudding.
love bread pudding.
I like bread pudding. Yeah, can you do
Well,
something?
my next pick is peach cobbler.
Yeah, I can eat a cobbler.
Yeah, I like
can
a
eat
cobbler.
cobbler.
Like
yeah.
a
Wait, so
cobbler.
banana pudding really? You reacted like this is.
I knew the
known.
answer before
Really?
I said it because I've been to a bunch of barbecue
that's
joints
so
like
funny. I've
growing
never
I'm a
up.
heard
big
that.
fan of sticky toffee pudding. Is that
Tiramisu?
tiramisu? Hey, I'm cooking this for days here.
Here's a question I asked Jim: is there anything you can't barbecue? And he said breakfast cereal. That was it.
Well, you'd be surprised.
I would tell you, I mean, theoretically, yeah, you can barbecue just about any protein out there. Let me tell you this though. There's some proteins in my mind you don't need to barbecue. And one of them is gator tail or anything reptile like a snake or whatever. The more you cook it, like you just take a gator tail, they're about that big around, and you put it on that grill, the more you cook it, the chewier it gets. If any of y'all have eaten like rattlesnake bites or gator tail bites, if you'll notice, they're little pieces and they've been battered where they deep fry. When you start grilling a big old thick chunk of that, it doesn't tender out like a piece of beef does or a piece of pork does. It doesn't have any much fat in there to render out. And the more you chew it, the bigger it gets in your mouth. I do not grill or eat reptile.
Have you ever thrown a shrimp on the barbie?
Yes, I have.
I love barbecuing prawns. I don't call them shrimp. No Australians
I
call them
love
shrimp.
those.
Yeah, I love a barbecue prawn, man. Oh, do you do it? Okay, I have debates with my wife. You do them in the shell, right? You do them full body, you barbecue them, right?
Yes, for sure.
See?
So I should have asked this at the beginning, but I asked Jim, how do you smoke meat? He said low and slow.
Yeah, man. Give me a point.
Or is there like just a general, yeah.
He said he went hot. He goes hot and fast.
I do hot and fast. I mean, but low and slow is a correct answer too. But I mean, like my beef briskets and my pork butts, we're cooking at in KC this weekend at the American Royal. And I put my briskets on, and we're cooking at 325 and butts, pork butts. Now I back it down once I pull them off. I cook a 20-pound brisket, 8-pound butts. I get them done in 4 hours.
Do you ever walk past fields of cows or pigs and they point at you and go, stay away from that man?
That's a bad man.
No, but I walk by fields of pigs and cows and I say, he looks mighty tasty.
I have a question. I'm from Georgia and I a ton of ribs.
You can't see Jack. He's off camera. but
They're
he's
my
talking.
favorite food. But a problem I've always had is like at Fat Matt's Rib Shack, for instance, if you know that place. When they serve ribs, they give like a piece of just like bread that's just underneath the ribs and just soaks up all the sauce.
White bread.
What's the purpose of that? Is it just to soak up the sauce? Are you supposed to eat it? What's the purpose?
I love that when they do that.
Well, really to soak up any of the juices and stuff that's coming out of them, not necessarily the sauce, and not have fat or grease running everywhere. I don't know if they're using paper or butcher paper when they're serving it to you or whatever, but it keeps it from soaking through into the paper. How they serve it to you?
I think it's just the ribs on top and the bread underneath. So I wasn't sure.
But is it on a tray or a plate or is it paper, like butcher paper?
I think it's on a plate if you eat there and then when you order it to go, they wrap it in paper, but they still put the bread inside.
Oh, I like the metal tray with the paper.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. Anyway.
Well, if you go to my restaurant, that's what you get.
Yeah,
The
good.
metal tray and the paper.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm a big fan of when like you get the Nashville hot chicken, they put a bit of bread underneath just for the hot sauce to drip through. That's good eating.
That's the bread pudding, right?
Yeah, that's good eating. I tell you what though, that hot chicken, we are having a revolution of that. There's like 5 hot chicken places within a mile radius of my house now. They're fucking everywhere. When I was in Nashville, I used to go, we got to go get some hot chicken. We're in Nashville. Now I got Dave's, I got 24-hour hot chicken. I got another place called Cluckin' Chicken.
Cluckin' Blaze.
Cluckin' Blaze. They're all over the place. When I first moved to this country, you were all Chipotle people. Everything was Chipotle. Chipotle this, Chipotle that. Now you've all gone hot chicken. That's the fad at the moment. Is it here to stay, Myron?
Well, let me tell you what. The first hot chicken place that I ever went to, this is before there was any, and then you'll have everybody jumping up and down Nashville, was Gus's Fried Chicken in Memphis, Tennessee. And I was going there 20 plus years ago, and they wasn't no hot chicken places. Now there's a Gus's, I believe, now in Nashville. But back then you didn't have any Prince's or whatever name over there in Nashville. Now you got hot chicken everywhere. But Gus's started that. And I mean, it's been around a while. But now it's just like taking off where that's what everybody wants. But I don't think it's going to stick as hot as it is right now because somebody else is going to find something else out they're going to do.
Is there any good barbecue in California?
I was going to ask
Right
that.
there.
Well, yeah, we got Dave here.
Yeah,
He's doing
it's
it's
my
great.
front
It's
yard.
great
There's
barbecue.
Baby Blues. I got a Baby Blues.
Well,
It's
because
okay.
one of my best friends is a huge barbecue enthusiast, and that's his biggest complaint is just like barbecue in LA is shit.
Bloodzo's has fantastic brisket.
See,
I don't like
because I
Bloodzo's
lived
that
in
much.
Britain. There's no good Indian food in America.
Mm.
I haven't seen anything that's.
But I
on
mean,
par.
as far as like at competitions, is there anyone you ever see? Oh, that person's from California or something, or is that generally not?
I mean, I don't know about barbecue restaurants anywhere. I don't go when I'm out of town. Like I'm going to be in Kansas City all this weekend, and I won't go eat at none of the barbecue places for a couple of reasons. I mean, as you know, I've done told you. I mean, I'm not a big going and eating there. And if I go in, if anybody recognizes me, I might order a little old barbecue sandwich. And the next thing I know, the pit master, AKA your chef, he's bringing me out all of this food
yeah.
and wants me to sit it down in front of me. Not only does he want me to sample it and critique it, him and like 5 of his sous chefs are standing around the table sitting there looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People tell
Watching
me
me
jokes
eat.
all the fucking
They'll
time.
take a picture of you, put it on the wall. Hey, Myron Mixon
but-
was there eating.
See, that's
I
the
mean,
scam. That's the scam I run is that I don't have anywhere near the credibility Myron has, and I try. He tries to avoid it. I try to make that happen. I'm tweeting the restaurant like, gonna go by here today, and then I hope that they realize who I am, and they're like, Dave, hey, let me give you some free barbecue.
Calling the
all right.
paparazzi on yourself.
I like the summer sausage. Those
I
sausages.
love
that-
summer sausage.
Oh, I fucking love me a summer
What's a
sausage.
summer sausage?
Tell
I
me
love 'em.
tell me there's no pork in there because I'm still eating it on the slide. I know it's packed with pork.
What's in a summer sausage?
Most of what's in summer sausage is venison.
Oh.
A true summer sausage is venison.
Oh.
Yeah, those ones they cut up for you, the thing,
Oh,
they
that's
put it on your plate.
They're really good.
They're
they're
really
really
good.
good. I mean, they're really good. I mean, a true summer sausage is venison.
The barbecue.
Whenever you're eating one, you go, "What's so summery and light?"
Yeah.
The last question I asked him was about barbecue competitions. I asked, what can you win? He said, a trophy that looks like a poker or an apron with boobs on it. Or a spatula or something.
Something that says "Kiss the little chef" with the pointing down to your penis.
There's real prizes at these competitions, right? They're very serious. Yeah.
I mean, like at the World Championship we just won for the 5th time in Memphis, the Memphis May World Championship. You get the grand champion trophy is like about 6 foot tall. One of the pictures that's on Facebook and stuff is me hoisting it over my head because I was excited. And also we get these rings. I got 5 of these now.
Yeah.
Super Bowl rings.
World
I got
Series.
5 of those, and that was about a 50 grand purse.
Do you ever
know,
wear them
winning
all
that.
at once, like you missed a T?
Matter of fact, my publishing house that does my books, they got some pictures of me holding like I'm some barbecue thug or some bullshit.
Barbecue thug or Liberace.
But Myron, the prize is the prize money, but then also I'm sure you get an immediate bump in sales
for
of
sure.
rubs and sponsorships and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff.
And let me tell you something now. Back in the day when I first started doing TV, I used to get paid upwards of, around 10 grand an episode, but it's got to the point where if I do them now, I wouldn't charge nothing for them because I see a direct result into my sales of everything. And that's where when I win a championship, I mean, I could see it. I see my cook schools roll. I see everything happening because, what they used to say about NASCAR, win on Sunday, sales on Monday.
Right.
Same thing.
Well, speaking of that, MyronMixon.com, as I mentioned, you can get all the sauces and rubs. There's apparel. Find out about the cooking school, books, tools, etc. You got everything for sale on here for barbecue. So check that out for sure. And also, I want to give Dave Williamson thanks for cooking on the meat. You have a rub yourself, right?
Right.
I just started selling my own rub. It was one of those things where I didn't want to make a rub because I was, like I said, I'm careful. I don't want to be like, I'm an expert. But so many people asked me for one that I felt like I was leaving money on the table.
All right.
Yeah.
So I made one.
Meet Dave.
That's it. So I figured I am comfortable calling myself an expert of cooking on the road because I bring a smoker in the tour bus when I tour with Bert. And if I go and I'm traveling around, I just did a 2-month tour.
I got fucking Forrest. He doesn't cook me shit.
Forrest eats all the food.
Yeah, Forrest knows where to get
I
barbecue.
point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's got a good radar.
But I just did a 2-month tour where I did comedy in barbecue restaurants around the country. So
That was when you're at where Myron
Myron
Mixon
went to Memphis in May.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I do think I'm pretty good at mixing up an all-purpose rub that you could put on anything, as
What's
you're
his
traveling
slogan?
and going.
It's Meet Dave. What is the slogan? Is there a
No,
little
it just says all-purpose rub.
tagline?
Meet Dave. Just meet
not,
Dave.
Not rubbing you the right way.
No, but there are some great slogans and some great team names in the world of barbecue. Myron's got a professional sounding name. He's Jack South, right? But there's
Jack's Old South.
Jack's Old South, excuse me.
Well, it sounds like fucking wrestling.
But there's ones out there like Pork Illustrated, right?
Ooh.
And Pablo Esco Barbecue was one of my favorites.
Nice.
Snoutcast. There's some funny ones.
Myron, this is part of the show where we have dinner party facts, we call it. Is there something like very obscure or interesting about barbecue that most people might not know that you can tell our listeners?
Well, I mean, one thing, but it may not be as obscure as I think it is. I love to cook lamb chops. My wife, she loves them.
I love
Well,
lamb.
to be able to get lamb, the lamb or the sheep has to be 1 year or less. When you get above 1 year old, you go into mutton.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. I always feel guilty because Australians eat lamb at the same rate that you guys would eat fucking beef. Like we eat, I eat it every week as a kid, and now it's like, oh, it's babies. Okay.
No, but when I went to Australia with it and New Zealand too, and we had it, I never ate it here because I wasn't that in the land. And then when you eat it in Australia and New Zealand,
We have the best sheep in the world.
it tasted so good. It
We're
was like
the best.
because that's you guys are into it so much more there. But
Well, we just have them standing around.
But to me, though, mutton is nasty. I mean, I love lamb. When you start getting an older sheep, when they get up at 1, 2, 3 years old, they're nasty.
Yeah.
sounds bad. All right, Myron. Well, thank you very much for being on the podcast. Again, go to MyronMixon.com and for anything that if you want to go to his school or you want to go to his restaurants, you want to buy any of his rubs, sauces, apparel, anything, everything's on there. Watch his TV shows and follow him on all the social medias, Instagram and Twitter. And also, Dave, thanks for cooking the meat. Go to Dave Williamson on all of his, that's your handle, right? On
At Dave W Comedy or DaveWilliamson.com.
There you go.
I got to thank you both for being on the podcast.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Hands down, my favorite podcast. I haven't enjoyed this podcast since cheese. We had a cheese episode.
That's what you ate on, yeah.
That was a fun day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Myron. Thank you for taking time out.
Thank
I know
y'all.
you're a busy guy and all that sort of stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever at a party and someone says you can barbecue everything, including gator, go, well, I don't know about that, and walk away. Good night, Australia.